Hey guys, welcome to the Gray State in this episode of the Rounds Up. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a round that I've been getting a lot of questions on. It's a mk262 clone, if you want to call it that, but it's Magtech Tactical 77 grain open tip match in 5.56. Let's get at it. All right, gang. Well, that intro was pretty darn extra, and I do admit that, but here's the thing, it was actually pretty functional. You guys didn't realize it, but I put 90 of these things down the pipe between a DDM4 V5 and the Mark 18 clone here from Daniel. So yeah, 90 of them went down the pipe right off the bat, no issues whatsoever. Performed flawlessly as you would expect. So it gets a thumbs up there from a functional test. For those of you guys who are just checking out my channel for the first time and finding this, the Rounds Up, I test rounds, factory rounds, in the capacity for which they were designed. So today I'm going to continue taking a look at the Magtech Tactical 5.56 open tip match 77 grain. Loosely, it's a 262 Mod 1 clone from Black Hills, but about 40 cents cheaper per round. So today I'm going to chrono it. We're going to see how it stacks up. It's got a published velocity of 2,790 feet per second at the muzzle. Today I brought two different platforms out. It's going to be a Mark 18 clone, which is, for those of you that don't know, is a 10.3 inch barrel, and then I've got a 16 inch barrel DDM4 V11. The reason for all the Daniel Defense love, no, I'm not sponsored by them. In fact, everything here is completely funded by myself. I just do this for the shooting community and for the fun of it. The reason I'm standardizing on it is because it's the same barrel manufacturer, it's the same barrel manufacturing processes, it's the same materials. You guys get the idea. It's super consistent that way. It's the same twist rate. I don't have to worry about any variables, things like that, from going from one manufacturer to the other. It really lets me just take a look at the round and not focus on the platform. So that's what's up with that. So yeah, I'm going to chrono between those two, and then I'm going to switch over and just go exclusively here over to the V11. I'm going to put it out to 100 yards, probably do I'll do three groups of 10 shots each, and we'll see how it plays on paper at 100 yards, and then I'll go out to 600 on steel and just have some fun with it. Probably put like a full mag downrange or something pretty close to that. So that's really the game plan for today. Before we do that, I'm just going to give you some of the other specs here very quickly on this round so that there's some value there for you. And we'll kind of cover off on this again, show you what I've got going on here, and then we'll head up to the deck. It's a beautiful day out today. I've done some recon, got a little bit of mirage going on. We've got winds are about 8-9 miles an hour, got a little bit of a tail cross, so I'll be dealing with that. So it's going to be a fun day shooting. Hopefully you guys enjoy this and find it a little fun. And then once all of that's said and done, I'll just bring it all back and we'll check it out, and I'll kind of give you my final thoughts on the round. The round itself, before we do that, obviously, I'm just going to speak very quickly. It's a 262 clone from Black Hills. For those of you guys not familiar with the Black Hills 262 Mod 1, it was a round that was developed for the Mark 12 platform years ago. It's kind of cascaded across. It's available now in the 5.56 platform. And Black Hills has been known, it's a benchmark round. It's got some secret voodoo and sauce that Black Hills will never talk about. Everybody tries to clone it. This is kind of one of those variants right here. One of the things about the 5.56 platform, when you start pushing these heavier, like the 77 grain projectiles, at higher pressures, they tend to lose some of their precision, and then because of that, the accuracy, because there's that consistency is gone. Black Hills is, like I said, is the benchmark, and I've seen have that secret sauce for keeping it there. Today, I'm going to put this Magtech Tactical through it. I've heard a couple things about it online. I did some research about it. First is that there's a tactical version and a sniper version. The tactical version tends to run a little bit hotter, so you gain speed, but you give up some precision, which then in turn affects accuracy, if you want to say that. The sniper version, like most times anybody that shot 77 grain, 223s out yard, is you back off the velocities a little bit and they stabilize and you get a much better grouping. So I'm thinking that's what's going on with the sniper version. I don't have the sniper version to check out. I just got the tactical version, and here it's what I found. It's a little hotter. So yeah, that's basically the game plan. So other things I can tell you about the round: it's a 77 grain Sierra Match King. It's a cantilevered bullet. The brass is annealed. The primers are sealed. It's a 7.5 primer. They even tell you the powder on here. It's a WCR 845S. They're very specific about everything. The only other thing I can tell you is that it's made in Brazil, but of course the biggie again is that this is about 40 cents per round cheaper than the Black Hills. This comes in, if you like, 36 bucks for 50 of them. It comes in like right around 70 cents or so per round. Black Hills, you're looking at 56 and change per box of 50. That's like in the $1.12 range. So you're about 42 cents off, give or take a penny here or there. And that's pretty darn significant. That's like 40%, 45% cost, right? Just doing some really loose math right there, depending on where you find it. So the question is, how does it perform compared to a Black Hills? Is there a 42-cent difference? That's what we're gonna find out. So that is the game plan for today. So yeah, really quickly before we get out shooting again, just the platform today, I've got a Mark 18 from Daniel. It's just an EOTech. I'm gonna be using this to chrono it in 10.3 inches. And then like I said, I'm just gonna be moving exclusively over here to the V11 and using it for some of the, we'll say more of the precision oriented work. There's nothing been done to it. It's just the standard 1 7-inch twist, you know, medium gas system from Daniel. It's a stock rifle. The only thing I've changed in is I put an SSA trigger in it, and I've got a Leupold Mark 6 up top with a spur mount, just to make it all rock solid. And I'm just gonna be shooting prone off of a bipod, and that's about it. Let's get after it. First 10. 2790 is the published velocity. Expecting it to be significantly lower coming out of a 10.3 inch barrel, but let's see what we got. 2295, not too shabby. 2258. 2315. 2252. Shot 5 was 2280. 2254, 2265, shot 8 was 2276, 2346, and this is going to be the last one. Here we go, number 10. 2318, very, very respectable, coming out of a 10.3 inch barrel for a 77 grain. All right, let's take a quick look and see what we got here as far as some numbers. A quick recap on the 10.3 inch. We got 2286 was our average, highest was 2346, lowest was 2252. Extreme spread of 93, not so hot. Standard deviation, again, not so good either at 31.7. There's some room for improvement there, but we're dealing with a 10.3 inch barrel. Number of shots, 10. All right, let's move on to the 16 inch barrel and see what we get. Here we go, 10 rounds to the 16 inch barrel now. I'll rip them off. $25.83. 2562. 2553. 2579. 2574. 2574. 2587. All right. Okay, guys, let's recap this one here really quickly. So 10 shots, I got 25.73 was my average, 26.18 was the high, 25.32 was the low, extreme spread of 86, which gives me a standard deviation of 22.7 across 10 shots. All right, now like we normally do, I'm going to build up my dope. We're going to group these things at 100 yards using the 16-inch, and then we're going to start taking them out and start sending them down the pipe further. All right, let's take care of that business now. All right, gang, here we go. It's going to be 10 rounds grouped. Target left, center bowls. I'm not zeroed for this round. I'm going to shoot for a group. One flyer there. Now that one went to the right too. Down to the right. That was way off. Four. Five for one hole. That one was off to the right too. It was number 10. Okay, so they're clearly going to the right just a little bit. Now here's what we're gonna do. Now this third one, feeling pretty comfortable with this round at this point. I'm gonna go bottom left, actually bottom right of the left target, right next to the GoPro. All right, here we go. 10 rounds. All right, gang, there we go. There's 30 rounds, 2 different groups. Second round, or second group, not so hot. First round, better. Third one, we'll go check it out. Is basically in a minute. I've just kind of got them all in there. And yeah, now we're going to push it out way further than this, probably at 600 yards. All right, here we go. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. Okay, now here we go. All right, 600, here we go. It's high? Is it centered up though? Is it like high just above the red, like halfway between the top of the plate and the... Good? I guess not just below the red side. It's high again, isn't it? All right, now we're at the top target. Am I hitting the tops or no? Now I'm going back to bottom. That went right, didn't it? That's 20 some.
That's good. Even the wind picked up. It's still good shooting.
Okay guys, let's wrap this up very quickly. As you can see, I'm obviously not out at the range anymore. I had some technical difficulties. The battery in my main camera died, so I had to come back and charge it, which actually lent itself to being a good thing. So while I was charging, I went back and reviewed a bunch of the video, and it fundamentally changed, I think, what my overall rating of this round is, and it's the Magtech Tactical 77 grain 5.56 open tip match. And the short version of it, for those of you guys who want to tap out, and then I'll expound on this here for you guys who want to stick around here. My reasoning behind it is I think the round's okay. I'm sorry, that's all I can give it. It's just okay. It wasn't awesome. It wasn't bad. It's okay. The round is what it is. It's a economy 77 grain open tip match that disappoints me a little bit in the consistency realm, where you think that it has a really proven 77 grain Sierra Match King with it, and it doesn't lend itself to the potential of the round. Is my general thoughts on it. So yeah. So that was kind of a bombshell there maybe for some of you, but let me expand on this here for just a second. So really, I had 4 tests. For those of you guys who are, you know, keen observers, you'll notice that I shot across 2 days, 3 different platforms. Yes, they were all Daniel defenses, not because I'm a fanboy. It's because I really wanted to focus on this round. I reiterated that earlier in the video. It's the same barrel manufacturer, the same barrel manufacturing process, the same materials, yada, yada, yada. So it lends myself to being able to eliminate out variables and say, oh, it was because of this platform, that platform. No, I was trying to give this round a fair shake. So the extra trailer that I created was a functional fast fire test. I put 90 of them down the pipe through 2 platforms, a V5 and an 18, which is a 10.3 inch Mark 18 clone, right? No failures whatsoever. Amazing. It did its job well. They were all A-box hits at close proximity, as you would expect, right? Nothing going on there. That being said, day 2, I introduced another rifle in the V11, also had no issues. So across 2 days, all of the couple hundred rounds spent, I think, on the day, or 100 or so, absolutely no issues, 100% reliable, gets double thumbs up. It did an awesome job. Good for them. Where it got a little crazy was on day 2. So the conditions were amazing, right? It was like mid to high 40s, low 50s-ish. Bluebird day, light winds, good pressure. The range is solid. I've always shot there. And the first thing that I didn't notice immediately, honestly, while we were at the range was in the shot strings. I knew that the standard deviations and the extreme spreads weren't so hot. So really quickly, out of the 16-inch rifle, I had an average of 2573 with an extreme spread of 86, which gave me a standard deviation of 22.7. And out of the 10.3-inch 18 clone, I had a 2286, which isn't bad for a 10.3-inch barrel and a 77 grain projectile. But my extreme spread was 93 with a standard deviation of 31.7. That's not good when you're thinking about the consistency that you want to match with a 77 grain open tip match from Sierra. And just out of here, it was one of those things where I looked at it, I didn't understand the significance of that, where I thought maybe they were just kind of all over the place, and I kind of attributed it to it over here. But this is a great idea. It's a good showcase of why chronographs are really cool and why science is cool. So I went back and I looked at the shot strings, and out of the 5 of them, they're like in both platforms, there was about 5 of them that were super tight and consistent, and there were about a few of them that were kind of all over the place, either really high or really low compared to the ones that were in the middle. And that's why averages are cool, right? But what it doesn't show you is the groupings of those, because when you have a wide extreme spread, your average is going to be in the middle, but you're going to have these outliers that are further out. And where this gets interesting is when you put it on paper at 100 yards, you don't realize the significance of that when you look. You have to look at the individual shots, and I didn't do it there, like I said, but I came back and I looked at it and I started piecing it together. And 100 yards, I wasn't completely like, okay, I knew where my holds were. I'm a half-minute shooter. It's a half-minute rifle that I know. I've done it a number of times on this channel, and the conditions were favorable. And this was my hold right here on group number 1. And what's interesting about it, out of 10 rounds, mapping it to a 10-shot string, I got 5 of them that are really super consistent. They're like hole on hole when the hold was the same place, and I got 5 of them that are kind of outside the box in outer space over here. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm having an off day, but no, it really wasn't. It was like the 5 rounds that I saw that were consistent in the chronograph were 5 rounds here. When I come down, actually I'm going to jump over to this one right now. This is group number 2 to camera right. Is I got 6 of them right here that are pretty darn, it's acceptable. It's a half minute when you think about it. That one's a little high. But other than that, they were all kind of in a nice tight group. And I had 4 of them that were out of the box. Again, about half of them. And then I came back over to group number 3. And I look at it here and I've got a nice tight group. I wanted to keep group number 3 under a minute, but I picked up the pace, right? I wanted to be a little bit more practical about it. My hold was like right in here, and so it was shooting a little low. And on this particular one, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 outside of the box. Again, it kind of maps what I was seeing with the shot strings on the chronograph out of both platforms. Now, admittedly, all of these were shot with the same rifle, okay, out of the V11. But it maps exactly what I was seeing with that shot string. And then when I went out to 600 yards, which is kind of crazy, I saw the same thing. I mean, I had these 2 distinct groups that were because of wind, where I had ones that were a little higher and then one that was a little lower. But man, I put more than 20 rounds downrange at 600 yards. And they were nailing. I mean, they were banging round on round on round in 2 groups. And then you had the occasional one that was either high, low, kind of all over the place. And admit, I did. I went between top target, bottom, top steel, bottom steel, top, and I kind of goofed around a little bit. But my holds were consistent, all right? And when I was on the same hold, you could see where that variance was. So that made it really kind of interesting. So I think what we found today was the limitation of the consistency of this round, which is an absolutely amazing thing. So that's what gives me that some of the reasoning behind it's an okay perspective. And the other reason, this is a biggie, why I think okay is justified is because of the price. Yeah, it's 70 cents a round. And when you compare it to Redbox factory new, Black Hills 262 Mod 1s that are like $1.12 a round. It's about 42 cents a round cheaper, okay? I totally get that. It adds up. However, there are options that are not Black Hills Mark 262 factory new red box that I believe outperform this for the price when you're adding a couple more cents per round. And the big one I'm thinking of is Black Hills 262 factory seconds, the blems, the ones that are cosmetically, maybe something's not right with them, but Black Hills says they'll perform just fine. Ironically, about a year ago, I did just that. I took the same rifle out, that same V11 at the same range, and I couldn't have asked for a better coincidental makeup. I had a day that was like in the mid to high 40s, clear, light winds, same range, everything. And that round on that given day, when I compare it to this round out of the exact same rifle, get this, for a round that was supposed to be hotter than 262s per online reviews, out of the Black Hills, I got an average of 2586, which is 13 feet per second faster than this one on the average. But this is what's really important and why on paper that round performed so much better. The extreme spread was 30 and the standard deviation was 8.7. That's like 60% more consistent than this round, okay? Huge difference when you're thinking about when you want to just take your dope, you know, your charts, your drop tables and stuff like I built out for everybody. I hope you guys use those, but if you're using this round, and that's why I do it, but it's a huge difference, right? And we're talking pennies more. You can go find those factory seconds when they're available, stock up on them, and have a better round than this round, all right? I'm just saying that. That's my opinion on it. Second thing is you can find other rounds that are in the 223 pressures that are what I would consider economy rounds when they're on sale, and there's some really good ones. One that comes to mind is Sig Sauer's Elite Performance Ammunition 223 77 grain open tip match. They admit they use a Sierra Match King bullet, the exact same bullet that these guys use. They back the speeds off a little bit, but man, is the precision there. The consistency is amazing. I clocked 20 of those like 2 years ago when it first came out, and it was like the standard deviation was like 6.2. It was probably the best single standard deviation of a factory round, even compared to like in 6.5 Creedmoor, like the 140 grain ELD matches that are super consistent as far as the round goes. So I think that's another option when you're looking at it that might be more available compared to these. And again, the speeds were down, but let's keep in mind at 600 yards, you're stretching what the 223 can do as far as knockdown power. It's fun to play when you're thinking about punching paper or, you know, hitting steel at 600 yards. It's still a fun day. And for that, this round is, it's a good option for that. It's a good economical round that you can take out and have a good day shooting at 600. In fact, it's not on camera. I actually took this round out to 800 yards and had hits. You know, it was basically just kind of ricocheting at that point off of the steel at 800 yards, and I didn't put the camera out there, but I had success at 800 yards with this thing on a few of them that I cracked off too, just for the fun of it. So it's very predictable when you build out the drop tables. But other than that, yeah, that's where it's at on this round. It's just super inconsistent. So hopefully you guys found this valuable. You found it informational, loosely entertaining. It was more fun than watching paint dry. I know some of the stuff that I can do can kind of go in depth, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there, getting the nitty gritty with me on this kind of stuff. But like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell to get notified when I put more stuff out like this, which will be happening more often now that the weather gets nicer and my personal work life is kind of having a little bit of stability in it. So I appreciate you guys dealing with my own inconsistency on the video output. It's not my intention. I try to put out quality stuff that's thoughtful and in-depth, so it takes some time. So that's it for today. If you guys want to see things on a more daily basis that are just more off the cuff, check me out on Instagram. If you guys do the Instagram thing at Gray State Medic, I'll put it here on the screen so you guys can find me there. And that's about it. Until next time, stay safe.